Good morning to all. Myself, G. Santosh Kumar, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce and Economics, a Faculty of Arts and Science, Bharat Institute of Higher Education and Research. So today we are going to discuss about the course name, Practical Auditing and course code U18 MCBC 405. The topics are meaning and definition of auditing, nature and scope of auditing, accountancy and auditing and investigation, objectives of auditing, limitations of audit, advantages of audit. First, we'll discuss about the meaning and definition of auditing. That auditing is a systematic examination of the books and records of a business or other organization to ascertain or verify and to report upon the facts regarding its financial operations and the results thereof. Which means auditing is a systematic examination or a systematic analysis for the financial statement. The financial manager, what they have prepared for the whole year is called as auditing. So in that case, every organization, they have to prepare a financial statement for the whole process of the organization. So that they have to conduct or they have to do the auditing process for the every year with the purpose of to check the all the financial statement what they have prepared for the whole year for whole process of the organization. So that is called as auditing. See definitions of auditing. According to the International Federation of Accountants, has given the following definition of an audit. That is, audit is an independent inspection of the financial information of any organization, whether profit-oriented or not profit-oriented. Irrespective of its legal form, status, or size, when such examination is conducted with a view to express an opinion thereof. So this is an definition according to the International Federation of Accountants. So that means audit is an independent inspection. That is an independent inspection for of the financial information of any organization, whether profit oriented or not profit, non-profit oriented, whatever it is, they have to conduct the audit process for the purpose of to know the financial situation of the organization. Our next definition, according to the report of the Committee on Basic Accounting Concept of the American Accounting Association (AAA) defines accounting is a systematic process of objectively obtaining and evaluating evidence regarding ascertains about economic actions and events to ascertain regarding the degree of correspondence between those assertions and established criteria and communicating the results in interested users. And according to the Taylor and Perry, audit is defined as an investigation of some statements of figures involving examination of certain evidence so as to enable an auditor to make a report on the statement. That definition is given by the Taylor and Perry. That means auditing is an investigation of some statement of figures. So we know that that every financial statement that contains the figures of amount, so that amount or money in the form of money, we know that that money is the lifeblood of the organization, or finance is the lifeblood of the organization. Without the finance, we cannot able to start the business, and even we cannot able to run the business. So that we have to procure the finance in the proper way towards the all those inspections and financial statement what we have prepared for the whole year for organization process. So that every financial aspects that have to be monitored by the higher authorities in the organization. So in that case, that audit will help to maintain the proper accounts and proper financial statement of any organization to know the organization's levels. That means financial situations in the organization. So that is called as definition or meaning of the audit process. And our next topic in our first unit, features of an audit. That 6 essential features of an audit. The first one is systematic process. Second one, third-party relationship. Three-party relationship. Third one, subject matter. And fourth one, evidence. And fifth one, established criteria. And the last one, sixth one is opinion. So systematic process. See, systematic process means auditing is a systematic and scientific process that follows a sequence of activities which are logical, structured, and organized. So it is a systematic process which contains the logical and structured and organized procedures for the sequence of activities towards the auditing work. So towards the auditing work, if we are decided to if we decided to do the auditing work in our organization, means we have to maintain or we have to follow the proper rules and regulations which have been framed by the Chartered Accountant Association. That means that systematic and structured organized rules and regulations that have been framed by the chartered accountant formation, so that every organization they have to follow all those rules and regulations for making the auditing process in the organization. And second one, three-party relationship. The audit process involves three parties, that is shareholders, managers, and auditors. We know that shareholders they are also one of considered as one of the owner of the organization. Managers they were appointed for the purpose of managing all those activities what they have been prepared by the directors, shareholders in the organization. So they are called as hierarchy or higher authority or head of the particular department. So he or she responsible for their department belongs to their department. So that and auditors are independent person. They have been appointed for the purpose of conducting the audit work in the particular period of time. So that for the purpose of appointment of auditor, we have to maintain or we have to follow some rules and regulations towards our government. And then third one is subject matter. Auditors gives assurance on a specific subject matter that however the subject matter may differ considerably, such as data, systems or process and behavior. So subject matter is very, very important. That is main content of the audit work, audit process is very, very important. So that from that subject matter, auditor gives the assurance on a specific subject matter. So particularly, they have given the subject assurance or given the particular assurance on a particular subject matter, so that we will know about that particular problem or particular situation in the organization. So we can consider that every process or every work in the organization that have to be monitored by the hierarchies in the organization. That fourth one, evidence. The auditing process requires collecting the evidence, that is financial and non-financial data, and examining thereof. That we know that evidence is very, very important. That without the evidence, we cannot prove anything that we have done in the auditing process. If we found any mistakes or errors in the auditing process, means that we should have the evidence to prove that mistakes, prove that founded mistake, or prove that found errors in the auditing work. And fifth one is established criteria. The evidence must be evaluated regarding established criteria, which include the international accounting standards and international financial reporting standard and generally accepted accounting principles industry practices, etc. So these are the established criteria, that they are the formations to prepare the auditing procedures and systematic approaches to conduct the audit process in an organization. And sixth one is opinion. The auditor has to express an opinion as to the reasonable assurance on the financial statement of the entity. So auditor's opinion is very, very important for every organization. So from that audit process, that auditor will give the opinion regarding their work, so that opinion will helps to know about our financial statement towards our entity in the organization. So these are the characteristics or essential features of the auditing. Our next topic is scope of audit. The scope of audit is sense that the scope of an audit is the determination of the range of the activities and the period of records that are to be subjected to an account examination, that is audit examination. That first one is legal requirement, second one entity aspects, third reliable information, fourth proper communication, fifth evaluation, sixth test, seventh one comparison, and eighth point is a judgment. So these are the points that are to be covered in the scope of audit. So that first one, so we will discuss in a detailed point of view in those topics. The first one is a legal requirements. The auditor can determine the scope of an audit of financial statement following the requirements of legislation, regulations, or relevant professional bodies. The state can frame rules for determining the scope of audit work. In the same way, professional bodies can make rules to conduct the audit. The second one, entity aspect. The audit should be organized to cover all the aspects of the entity as far as they are relevant to the financial statement being audited. A business entity has many areas of working. A small entity may have few functions, while a large concern has many functions. See, the auditor has to go through all the functions of the business, so that the audit process, that is audit report, should cover all the functions, so that the reader may know about all the workings of the concern. Then third point is reliable information. The auditor should obtain a reasonable assurance as to whether the information contained in the underlying accounting records and other source data are reliable and sufficient as the business of the preparation of the financial statement. The auditor can use various techniques to test the validity of data. In all auditors, while doing the audit work, usually apply the compliance test and substance test. The auditor can show such information in the report. And fourth point is proper communication. The auditor should decide whether the relevant information is properly communicated in the financial statement. Accounting is an information system, so facts and figures must be so presented that the reader can get information about the business entity. The auditor can mention this fact in his report, and is the principles of accounting can be applied to decide whether that about the disclosures of the financial information in the statement. Then our next point is evaluation. The auditor assesses the reliability of and sufficiency of the information contained in the underlying accounting records and other source data by making a study and evaluation of accounting systems and internal controls to determine the nature, extent, and timing of other auditing procedures. And sixth point is a test. The auditing assesses the reliability and sufficiency of the information contained in the underlying accounting records and other source data by carrying out other tests, inquiries, and other verification procedures of accounting transactions and the account balances as he considers appropriate in the particular circumstances. There are complaints of test and substantive tests to examine the data. So the vouching, verification, and valuation techniques are also used to conduct the test on the financial statements. And seventh one, comparison. The auditor determines whether the relevant information is properly communicated by comparing the financial statements with the underlying accounting records and the other source data to see whether they properly summarized the transactions and event recorded therein. See, the auditor can compare the accounting records with financial statements to check that the same has been processed for the preparing the financial accounts of a business concern. That 8 point last point under the scope of audit is judgment. The auditor determines whether the relevant information is properly communicated by considering the judgment that management has made in the preparing the financial statement accordingly. The auditor access the selection and consistent application of accounting policies, how the information has been classified, and the adequacy of the disclosures. So our scope of auditing is over. Our next topic is differences between accountancy and auditing. See, there are 7 bases of differences. Is there the to know the differences about the accountancy and auditing? See, first one is meaning. See, on the basis of meaning, the accountancy side, it is the process of recording, classifying, summarizing, and interpreting the all the financial transactions. That we know that every organization they should have they should prepare the financial statement for all the process of an organization. So in that case, it is the process of recording, summarizing, classifying, and interpreting the all the financial transactions toward the business process called as accountancy. In auditing, it is the process of examining books of accounts and reporting on the financial statement is called as auditing. As we discussed, know that auditing is the process of examination of books and accounts and reporting on the financial statement in an organization. And on the basis of objectives, accountancy, it is a main objective is to find out the profit earned or loss suffered by the company and to show the financial position of the company for a particular period. As we know that why the organizations are preparing the financial statement means to know the financial situation, whether they have earned the profit or loss in their throughout the process of the organization. So for that purpose, they are preparing the financial statement. And the other side, auditing side, its main objective is to examine the correctness of the accounts and financial statements and certify that whether the company exhibits a true and fair view of state of affairs of the concern, which means this is the main objectives of the examination of the financial statement, that to correct the financial statement and to check the whether the fair statement or fair view of the state that affairs of the concern in the financial statement. So that is the main objective for the auditing. And third basis, that nature of employment. See, under the accountancy side, that an accountant is a permanent employee of the organization, that an auditor is an independent person and is not an employee in the organization. That qualification, an accountant does not require any formal qualification, and the auditing and auditor should be a qualified chartered accountant certified by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. That fifth point, reports. The accountant is not required to submit the report on the financial statement prepared by him. That auditing said, auditor should submit the report certifying the truth and fairness of the financial statement. So the sixth one is a remuneration. An accountant is remunerated in the form of salary, so that he will get the salary in the form of salary method. That is a remuneration in the form of salary method from the company as they prescribed in the at the time of appointment of the accountant. But the auditor is an independent person, and auditor is remunerated in the form of a professional fee what they have specified in that at the time of appointment of auditor. And seventh one, commencement of work. That accountancy starts where bookkeeping ends. That means once the bookkeeping ends, that accountancy will start for preparation of the whole bookkeeping process. And the auditing starts where accountancy ends. So when accountancy ends, the auditing automatically will goes to starts full of the work towards the accountants what they have prepared in the whole year to check and to examine the prepared document or prepared statement in the organization. Our differences between accountancy and auditing over. Our next topic is differences between the auditing and investigation. See, there are 10 bases of difference. One is meaning. On the basis of meaning, auditing is the concern with the examining the accounts and the reporting on financial statement. Investigation, on the investigation side, so it is the process or it is the examination of accounts of a business for a special purpose. So for a special purpose, that investigation will conduct to find out the particular solution or particular content from the specified purpose is called as investigation. Second one is objective. See, the objective of auditing is to express an opinion to the financial statement of the concern. So investigation is done for this some specific purpose. And third one is compulsion. It is compulsory in case of joint stock company. It is not compulsory in for the conducting the investigation without any objective. And then period. On the basis of period, auditing is it done at the end of the financial year. Investigation can be done over a period of years. That auditing is done at the end of the financial year, because once the financial statements have been completed by the organization, that auditing will going to do the checking of all those financial statement for the purpose of find outing the fair aspects and fair view of the financial statement for the financial year, that is end of the financial year. An investigation can be done over a period of years. And on the basis of conduct, on the auditing side, audit is conducted on behalf of the owners of the company, and investigation is conducted on behalf of outsiders and owners at sometimes. And scope, on the basis of scope, it is as a narrow scope and it has a wide scope. So investigation has a wide scope, and auditing it is a narrow scope. It visions that is auditing is narrowly that view to the particular point of view to find out the or to examine the financial statement alone. But investigation, it widely investigated for all the problems and all the content what they are specified for a particular specific purpose. So that is investigation. An appointment, on the basis of appointment, an auditor is appointed by the shareholders or directors or by government, but investigator is appointed by the outsiders. A report, auditor has to give a report about the true and fair view of the financial account. But investigation, the investigator gives a report on the basis of conclusion and inquiries. The expressions of the opinion is not necessary. Qualification, on the basis of qualification, only chartered accountants are qualified to conduct the audit process, but investigation side, an investigation need not be conducted by a chartered accountant. A 10th basis, that is process of work. Auditing investigated accounts are not audited in the ordinary course. that investigation side, generally audited books of accounts are taken up for a investigation. So our auditing and investigation differences. So our next topic is objectives of an audit. See, there are two types of objectives we have. That one is primary objectives, and second one is subsidiary objectives. See, under the primary objectives, the first one is examining the system of internal check. Second one is checking arithmetical accuracy of books of accounts, verifying it. And third one is verifying the authenticity and validity of transactions, checking the proper distinction of a capital and revenue of transactions, confirming existence and value of assets and liabilities. And the secondary objectives is detection and prevention of errors and under or over valuation of stocks. So that primary objectives, under the primary objectives, examining the system of internal check. So internal check is very, very important process of audit. So that they have to examine the internal check what they have prepared for the making the audit process. So that internal check is the sense to checking the all the internal factors what are being included in the audit process is called as internal methods. So internal process. So that they have to be checked by the auditor, to examine by the auditor for the purpose of doing the proper audit work. And checking arithmetical accuracy of book of accounts. As we know that every statement of the financial statement that contains the arithmetical content and numerical content and books of accounts in the form of books of accounts. So that verifying, posting, casting, and balancing is very, very important for the financial statement. So that process will be included in the auditing process. And verifying the authenticity and validity of transactions. So authenticity and validity means that reliability of the book, that reliability of the report is very, very important towards the auditing process. That will help to make the special or important decision in the organization. So that is very important. Checking the proper distinction between capital and revenue nature of the transaction. So we should know the differences from the capital to the revenue. So then only we can see or we can know that whether we have earned the profit or loss that from the capital. See, that differences will seems to be get the information regarding our profit and loss in an organization. And confirming the existence and value of assets and liabilities. Existence value of current assets and current liabilities. We can confirm that our current assets value and current liabilities value in an organization. And subsidiary objectives of an audit. So it's mainly that to find out the prevention of errors. That means detection and prevention of errors and detection and prevention of fraud and under our overvaluation of stock. So we should not undervaluate our stock, and we should not overvaluate our stock, so that we should maintain or we should valuate our stock in an appropriate manner. So that subsidiary objectives of audit will find out under or overvaluation of stock. If we found, means we have to rectify from that particular problems in the audit process in financial statement. So our scope of objectives over. That means objectives of audit over. Our next topic is advantages of auditing. That first one is assurance to the owners or investigators. One of the biggest advantages of auditing is that it offers assurances to the owners, investors, shareholders, etc. The owners of the business will be assured about accuracy of their books of accounts. They will be satisfied with the working of their various departments and the overall efficiency and profitability of their business operations. In the same case with investors, who will find assurance in the books of accounts of auditing. The second one is errors and frauds. That is, an error is something that is done without the intention to fraud the company. It is an innocent mistake. Fraud, on the other hand, is deliberate. During the process of auditing, both errors and frauds are discovered. Auditing also helps prevent such errors and frauds. It creates a fear of being detected. So auditing helps us minimize the risk of errors and frauds in our books of accounts, but does not eliminate the risk entirely. There is always a chance that the error may go unnoticed and the fraud is very cleverly hidden, so may go undetected. Sometimes it may be undetected errors because of they have clearly hidden some errors and mistakes in the financial statement. So fraud, we know that it is intentionally to cheat in the financial statement, but errors, that is unknown mistakes, that is innocent mistakes that have been occurred in the financial while preparing the financial statement in an organization. So sometimes that may be that may detected or that may not be detected because of cleverly that have been hidden or hidden by the people, those who have intentionally cheated to the organization financial statement. And third one is independent viewpoint. If the auditor is an external auditor, the business can get a second opinion on the financial statement and financial standing as well. An external auditor will closely inspect books and he completely true and fair his opinion as no hidden agenda. If he says the accounts are true and fair, it has a lot of weightage with the company and the investors. And fourth point is moral check. One of the other advantages of auditing is that the staff and the workers of the company do not try to steal or defraud the company. They should be loyal with the company. So should be fair or moral with the company so that they are under constant scrutiny since they know that the accounts will be audited. Any irregularities can be identified during such an audit and they will be caught eventually. See, this helps the staff in being honest and responsible at all the times. And fifth one is stakeholders confidence. After auditing stakeholders like creditors, investors, bank debentures holders, etc., can rely on the books of accounts with more confidence. And so after auditing by an independent authority, the financial statements have more credibility. Our next topic is limitations of auditing. Under the limitations of auditing, the first point is rely on experts. An auditor has to rely on experts like engineers, valuers, and lawyers for estimation and valuation of fixed assets and estimation of contingent liabilities. Second one is efficiency of management. An auditor does not comment on the efficiency of management working in client organization. No comments on future performance of an organization can be made through audited financial statement. So efficiency of management is very, very important for every organization. So without the efficiency of management, we cannot able to fulfill our works to get the appropriate output from the particular work. So that an auditor does not comment on the efficiency of the management working in the client organization. No comments on future performance of an organization can be made through auditor financial statement. And third one is checking of all transactions. It is not possible for an auditor to check all business transactions, especially in big organizations where the number of transactions is very high. An auditor has to rely on the sampling and test checking. Fourth point is additional financial burden. An organization has to bear additional financial burden on account of any fees and other such expenses for conducting an audit. So additional financial burden is also one of the main limitation or main disadvantages of auditing, to bear the additional financial burden on the account of any fees and other such expenses of conducting an audit. And now our fifth point under the limitations of auditing is not easy to detect. Some frauds detect deeply. That means it is not easy for an auditor to detect deeply laid frauds like forgery, misstatements, and non-recording transactions, etc. So that it is not easy to detect. So that people who have intentionally cheat for a financial statement in the organization, they have clearly or cleverly hidden the particular mistakes and errors or fraudulent activities in the financial statements. May not be them that may not be discovered or that may not be detected from the auditor. So it is not easy to find. So that will remain. That will seems to be a main disadvantages of the auditing process. So that these are the advantages of auditing work. So our first unit is over. Thank you.